Hello, fourth graders. Mr. Carter here, ready to do Homework 3.6. If you haven't yet, please put your name on this. And let's begin. All right, so we have some fraction number stories here, and we're comparing fractions. So let's take a look. Tanisha and Krista were each reading the same book. Tanisha said she was 3/4 of the way done, and Krista said that she was 6/8 of the way finished. Who has read more, or have they read the same amount? So we are comparing 3/4, which is how far Tanisha went with her book, and 6/8, which is how far Krista went. So we could do this a couple ways. We'll start with our first way, where we compare using fraction circles. Got 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my eighths and I'm going to put them on top of our 3/4 to see how they compare. 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, and 6/8. So if you take a close look, you'll notice that 6/8 and 3/4 are exactly the same, because 2/8 is equivalent to 1/4. So we have 2/8, 4/8, 6/8. So these are equal. Another way you could have done it is by using our formula, or our multiplication method, where we multiply the top and the bottom by the same amount. So if we have 3/4, we ask ourselves what times 3 will get us 6. We know that 3 times 2 equals 6. So again, whatever we do to the top, we've got to do to the bottom. So we go 4 times 2, and that equals 8. So you'll notice that 3/4 and 6/8 are equivalent. Okay, so I went ahead and answered these questions. So who has read more, or have they read the same amount? Well, I answered here they have both read the same amount. How do I know? Because when I used fraction pieces, I saw that 3/4 equals 6/8. You could have also wrote something along the lines of when I multiplied the top and the bottom by 2 for 3/4, I got 6/8. So those are a couple of ways you could have answered that question. Let's take a look at number 2 here. Number 2. Heather and Jerry each bought an ice cream bar. Although the bars were the same size, they were different flavors. Heather ate 5/8 of her ice cream bar, and Jerry ate 5/10 of his. Who ate more, or did they eat the same amount? Well, I'm going to take my eighths that I had from the problem before. That's 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8. That's what 5/8 looks like. And if I bring my tenths over, I'm going to notice, for one, that my tenths are smaller than my eighths if I put one on top of the other. So if the numerators are the same, 5/8 and 5/10, I know I'm going to use the same amount of pieces. So if my eighths are bigger, then I know that 5/10 are going to be smaller. See, look, when I start putting them on top of each other, you'll notice that the purple pieces are smaller. So that would be 3/10 right there, 4/10, 5/10. Okay. So who ate more? Well, Heather ate more, because she ate 5/8, and Jerry only ate 5/10. So write a number sentence to show this. So you can say 5/8 is greater than 5/10, or you can flip-flop it and go 5/10 is less than 5/8. Okay, let's do number 3. So Howard's baseball team won 7/10 of its games. Jermaine's team won 2/5 of its games. They both played the same number of games. So whose team won more games, or did they win the same amount? So we're comparing 7/10 with 2/5. Okay. Well, for this one, I'm going to use benchmarks, and I'm going to use the benchmark of half. So I'm going to ask myself, how many tenths would be half? Well, 5 is half of 10. So 5/10 would be half. So I know that 7/10 would be more than 1/2. So let's take a look at 2/5. Well, I know that half of 5 is really 2.5. So I know that this here is less than half. So since 7/10 is more than half and 2/5 is less than half, then Howard's baseball team won more because they won more than half of their games. So Howard's team won more games. How do I know? Because Howard's team won more than half of their games. Oops, let me move my camera here. Sorry about that. There we go. More than half of its games. And Jermaine's team won less than half of its games. Okay, number 4, excuse me. Number 4 is asking you to write your own fraction number story and ask someone at home to solve it. So I can't wait to see what you folks come up with for that for tomorrow. Our practice today is to write T for true or F for false. And we're giving some addition problems and some subtraction problems here. So the only way to figure out if they're true or false is to do them and see if the answer is correct or not. So I'm going to do 5 and 6 for you, and then I'm going to have you do 7 and 8 on your own. So I transfer these problems over. So number 5 is 1,286 plus 2,286. So if we add those together, 6 and 6 is 12. Carry the 1. 8 and 8 is 16. 17 with the 1. Carry the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 3. So the answer is 3,572. So if we check with what we have here, it is false because our answer is that they gave us was 3,752. But the actual answer here is 3,572. They flip-flopped the 5 and the 7. Let's do number 6. 9,907. Take away 9,709. So we have to take away 7 from 9. We can't do that, so we got to trade. We can't trade with anything from the tens because there's nothing there, so we've got to go to the hundreds. So we're going to take this 9, make it an 8. We now have 10 tens, but we need to trade one of those tens to help out the ones over here, so that now becomes 9. This becomes 17. 17 take away 9 is 8. 9 take away 0 is 9. 8 take away 7 is 1. 9 take away 9 is 0. So we're left with 198. If we compare that to our answer, which they said was 200, that is false. So go ahead and try 7 and 8 on your own, see how you do with that. Hope this was helpful, and I'll talk to you later.